This is my 2019 trip to Alaska with my dad and my brother Cliff. This is starting off in Fairbanks. We took a riverboat ride into a village where they showed us how they dry salmon and catch salmon and make clothes out of different pelts. Had some reindeer. Got to watch a plane take off and land. They're saying that 1 in 78 Alaskans have a pilot's license. Um, I don't remember how long the tour took on the riverboat. I think it was like 2 hours. Here's the place where we stayed in Denali, and down below the railing is the river that we went river rafting in. I never got any good shots from it. Uh, the They gave you the option to row or not row on the reservation, and we thought, well, we'll just pick non-row so we can take pictures, and we figured there'd be a team of people rowing for us. No, it was one girl rowing for all of us and made us feel kind of bad. But it was a good trip, and she was cool. There's some pictures of Mount Denali. It's about 60 miles away from where I'm taking the pictures. It's a midway point on a 12-hour bus tour. They took us back to a cabin where we got to watch sled dogs pull a ATV through the place. Did a little bit of gold mining. Did not get rich. There was a few teams of climbers trying to get to the peak today on this day. So every once in a while you'll see me zoom in to try to see if I can find one of the climbers, but zooming in that far just makes the camera jiggle back and forth and don't really see much of anything. But it was really lucky that we went when we did because normally you can't see Denali that clear. Most people only see about 10% of the mountain, but it was clear enough that we was able to see it all. And there's nobody up there. Zoom out. This is annoying. Up to this point, I think we'd only seen a few caribou along the bus ride. We didn't see much of wildlife until later. And then we started seeing some bear and some more caribou and some ground squirrels and different other little wildlife. The caribou would come really close to the bus. These ones here, we got to film for a little bit before that one in the foreground started kicking rocks down at us, so we had to take off. And a couple of them would be right beside the road, and we'd have to wait on them to cross because they didn't seem to be afraid of it. There's a bear on the top of this hill that I tried to get a good shot of. It had two cubs that I didn't get to get in frame. And about right there is somebody's jeans. Some woman put her butt right in the camera as soon as I was ready to zoom in on them. This one I was able to get in pretty good. and she also has two cubs. And you'll see them a little bit later. It's really hard to hold the camera steady at that much zoom and so much sunlight on the viewer that I couldn't tell when they were in frame half the time. And always had people climbing over top of you in the bus trying to get a shot. You can see the two little cubs in the background. Seem to be pretty well fed. After we left Denali, we started towards Talkeetna, and we took a jet boat tour. I never got any good pictures of the jet boat. I just got one shot of us as we're on the back of the boat riding. It was a cool boat ride. I wasn't able to get any good pictures because everybody was moving back and forth trying to get a shot from the back of the boat and didn't want to hog the back of the boat. There's my dad on the left and my brother Cliff on the right. There's Denali from the hotel we stayed at in Talkeetna. There's a bunch of planes landing in the background. Here's Seward. It's the last stop on our trip. It's a big fishing town that's almost a ghost town whenever winter rolls around. But there's billions of dollars worth of boats out there. And harbor seals and sea otters are always going for scraps. And the seagulls are always trying to take the scraps away from the harbor seals and the sea otters. So anytime you see them all gathered together out in the water, they're trying to steal food. So here's a sea otter trying to slap them with a fish. If I went again, I'd want to take one of those boat tours to see if I could see a killer whale. I've never seen one of those. And there is a harbor seal. Fleeting glimpse of a harbor seal. There's another harbor seal. And that's a sea otter. Kind of hard to catch on film most of the time. They usually just come up and take a little bite out of the fish and then go underneath to look for more. It's a bald eagle. And another one. They get harassed a lot by the little birds. And you can tell by the shaking that they're very far off. And here comes a big patriotic scene. right there. And here's some better shots of the sea otters. Too adorable. But that's about all that I've got on my camera. For better film, I have to get with my brother and my dad to see what all they've got to maybe replace some of this or add to it. Till next time.